And so what happens sometimes if you haven't done the work of fully forming an ego is that spirituality then becomes your ego. And when that happens, it's very hard to work with because your ego can hide in spirituality and spiritual work because we're wrapping it all in this pretty language and talking about doing the work. But it's really just the ego wanting people to see that you're doing the work. And then you get caught in the ego identity trap of looking like a spiritual person. So what this looks like is someone does psychedelics once or goes to a retreat once and they jump straight into teaching others, quoting Rumi, they're wearing beads, they're starting podcasts, and their ego is still running the show because they're not in tune with self-understanding enough, and they don't have teachers calling out their blind spots enough to know that their ego really didn't die down. It just moved and it's still running the show. Just it's doing so in spiritual clothing. I don't like to dog on individual people because I want to stay in the world of ideas and I'm not the kind of person that just wants to like berate individual people. But like a good example of this as an idea, even though I don't know anything about her as a person, is like Shannon Blake. I don't know if you've seen her. I'll put a picture up here, but it's where the image of spirituality becomes your ego. And so she has a song. I don't think I can play it on YouTube where it will take it, but it says, you know, I have big heart, big tits, big checks, and it's talking about how much money she's making in the world of spirituality. And it's like, it just, to me, it feels like, and not in a judgmental way, it just feels like, oh, she's young. This is what happens when you don't have a fully formed ego, and then your ego starts becoming the spiritual person. And then, you know, she runs retreats, she makes a lot of money, she makes music and things like that, but it still feels like her ego is being dressed in spiritual clothing so that she can sell whatever she's trying to sell, so that her ego is getting whatever it needs. And that's okay. I just think we should recognize that for what it is and realize that maybe that's not what a spiritual or awakening practice looks like at the end of your life, in the later stages of human development. And we could just appreciate it for what it is.